Hello everyone, this is Jubair Khan and you are watching Joravi Nursing online classes. Now Delhi AIMS exam is going to come, so for that we have started a test series. So we will discuss the questions of our test series in this video. So today's questions are from MSN. Total 100 questions I will discuss. So I'll go very fast. So please be with me. Okay, if you are not understanding the questions, you can watch again and again this video, but I will go with this very fast. So I have to cover the 100 questions in this video. So let us start the video. Before the starting the video, please subscribe my channel if you are new on my channel. Okay, so let us start the video. So first question is, the nurse is assessing a client with the following bronchoscopy. Which of the following findings should the nurse report to the provider? So options are blood sting sputum, dry non-productive cough, sore throat, bronchospasm. So here correct answer is bronchospasm. So what is the rationale for this? Bronchospasm can indicate the client having difficulty maintaining a patent airway. The nurse should notify the provider immediately. So for bronchospasm, nurse should explain to the healthcare provider immediately. Nurse should inform the healthcare provider immediately. So this option is correct. Now next question. A nurse is teaching a client who has a new prescription for ferrous sulfate, ferrosol. Which of the following should be the included in the teaching? Stool will be dark in the red color. Take with a glass of milk if gastrointestinal distress occurs. Food high in vitamin C will promote absorption. Take for 14 days. So here correct answer will be the foods high in the vitamin C, because vitamin C helps in the absorption of the iron. Okay, next question is, the client widespread herpes zoster is placed on IV hydrocortisone. The nurse should monitor the client. Okay, herpes zoster is there, IV cortisone is placed. So nurse should monitor for what? Hyperkalemia, hypercalcemia, hyperglycemia, hypermagnesemia. So here correct answer will be the hyperglycemia. So what will be happen? In corticosteroids are known to elevate the blood glucose level, tend to the lower serum potassium level and calcium level. So their effect on magnesium isn't substantial. So we need to check the blood glucose level if IV corticosteroids are going on. Next question is, the nurse is carrying a new donor site that has harvested to the teeth of the one. The nurse should position the client. So allow the ventilate of the site, make the site dependent, avoid pressure on the site, keep the site fully covered. So we should, so here third option is right, avoid the pressure on the site. A universal concern in the care of the donor site of one, keep the site away from the source of pressure. So we should keep the site away from the source of the pressure. So avoid the pressure is correct option. During which stage of injury repair does the wound show evidence of the erythema and edema phagocytosis begins? So here four options are there: proliferation, inflammation, hemostasis and maturation. So here correct answer will be the inflammation. So inflammation is the erythema, edema and phagocytosis will be there in inflammation. So what is that? Rationals are there. Hemostasis means during first few minutes platelet seals of the vessels and secretes substance that causes vasoconstriction. Thrombin stimulates the clotting mechanism, forming the fibrin mass. Inflammation means over days 1 to 4 inflammatory response and phagocytosis will occur. Proliferation, it will be taking the 5 to 20 days, and fibroblasts produce the collagen and granulation tissues starts from the epithelialization, contracts wounds. And maturation means after 21 to 2 years, collagen begins the reduced scarring, the tissue gain tensile strength. Okay, so these are the things. So here correct answer will be the inflammation. Now next question is, the nurse is completing a discharge teaching to a client who has a irritable bowel syndrome. Which of the following should be included in the teaching? So increase the dietary intake of dairy products, consume the 15 to 20 gram of fiber diet, plan 3 moderate to large meals per day, drink 2 liters of fluids each day. So here correct answer is drink 2 liters of fluids each day. Okay, rationale is, a client who has IBS should drink 2 to 3 liters fluids a day, promote the consistent bowel pattern. And client who has IBS should increase their daily fiber intake 30 to 40 gram. Okay, Now next question is the condition of client extensive third degree ones begin to the deteriorate. The nurse is aware which type of shock may occurs result of the inadequate circulating blood volume that occurs with a one injury. Okay, so options are cardiogenic shock, disruptive shock, hypovolemic shock, and septic shock. So so here it will be the circulatory volume is inadequate. So here it will be the correct answer will be the hypovolemic shock. So once that are resulting low circulatory fluid volume can cause the hypovolemic shock. So here correct answer is hypovolemic shock. Now next question is a client with unstable angina receives routine application of the nitroglycerin ointment. The nurse should delay the next dose of if client has. Okay, so atrial fibrillation, systolic blood pressure below 90 mmHg, a headache and skin darkness at the current site. So here correct answer will be the systolic blood pressure below the 90 mmHg. So nitroglycerin causes the vasodilatory effect and can lower the atrial blood pressure. So if blood pressure is lower than 90 mmHg, we should not give the nitroglycerin. Now next question is a client with the acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, that means AIDS, develop pneumocystis pneumonia. Which nursing diagnosis has the highest priority in this client? Impaired gas action, impaired oral mucosal membrane, imbalanced nutrition less than body requirements, and activity intolerance. So here correct answer will be the priority will be the impaired gas action because he has a pneumocystis pneumonia. So although all these nursing diagnoses are appropriate for the clients with AIDS, impaired gas is the priority nursing diagnosis with the clients with the PCP. Airway breathing circulation takes priority. So ABC, always think with the ABC. So here airway breathing is the main priority. So impaired gas action is the right answer. Now coming to next question, the nurse is assessing a provider with a removal of the chest tube. Which of the following should the nurse instruct to the client? So lie on the left side, use the insertive spirometry, cough at the regular intervals, and perform the Valsalva maneuver. So when we are removing the a nurse is assisting the provider removal of chest tube. Okay, we are removing the chest tube. So what we need to do? So we need to ask the patient for Valsalva maneuver. Okay, the client should be instructed to take deep breath, exhale and bear down. That is Valsalva maneuver. As the chest tube is being removed, increase intrathoracic pressure and it can reduce the risk for air embolism. Okay, so Valsalva maneuver we need to do. When the assessing a client's skin notes the scattered rays on the trunk, the individual lesions are about 0.5 cm in the diameter, are flat, non-palpable, circumscribed. How would this type of lesion will be classified? So here options are papule, nodule, macule and patch. So here correct answer is macule. We can see the rationale. If nurse notes the scattered red rays on a client's trunk and the individual lesions are about 0.5 cm in diameter and are flat and non-palpable and circumscribed, this type of lesion would be classified as the macule. Or macular lesion include those associated with the petechiae, measles and scarlet fever. So macules you can see with the petechiae, measles and scarlet fever. Okay, so here correct answer will be the macule. A physician ordered the gastric decompression of the client with a small bowel obstruction. The nurse should plan for the suction. So what type of suction she should plan? Low pressure intermittent, low pressure continuous, high pressure intermittent and high pressure continuous. So here correct answer will be because here a small bowel obstruction is there, so here correct answer will be the low pressure and intermittent suction. Okay, so gastric decompression is typically low pressure and intermittent. High pressure and continuous gastric suction predispose the gastric mucosa to injury and ulceration. If we will provide the high pressure continuous suction, so it will create the gastric injury or ulceration it will form. So it should be low pressure and intermittent suction should be there. It should not be a continuous. A post-operative client whose oxygen saturation has been stable 96% to 98% suddenly saw the drop of 80%. What initial response is most indicated? So notify the physician, administer the oxygen, assess the client and reposition the pulse oximeter, collect an arterial specimen for AVGs. So here correct answer will be the assess the clients of the reposition of the pulse oximeter. If oxygen saturation is going down okay, it is going the less than 90% or 90% or 95%. First we need to assess the whether that pulse oximeter is positioned correct or not. So the initial response should be quickly assess the client's condition. First client condition we should assess and reposition the pulse oximeter. In most of the cases sudden changes occur results from the incorrect position of the pulse oximeter. So first we need to check the pulse oximeter is correct placed or not. The community health nurse instructing a group of young female client about a self-rest examination. The nurse should instruct the client to perform the examination at the which time. So options are at onset of the menstruation, every month during the ovulation, weekly at the same time of the day, 1 week after menstruation begin. 1 week after menstruation begin. So here correct answer will be the 1 week after menstruation begins. So after menstruation begins, after 1 week we need to do that. Lady has to do breast self examination. So breast self examination should be performed regularly 7 days after the onset of the menstrual period. Okay. For which of the following reasons should the nurse use the Braden scale to assess the client? To determine the client is suffering from the delirium, to determine the client is if client is risk for developing pressure sores, to determine the client is at risk for falls, to determine the client is at risk for substance abuse. So we know Braden scale for what we use for developing pressure sores. So here correct answer is pressure sores. So what is the rationale? The Braden scale is used to determine if client is at risk for developing pressure sore. So option second is correct. A client is experiencing acute respiratory failure will most likely demonstrate hypocapnia, hypoventilation, hyperoxemia, hypocapnia, hyperventilation, hyperoxemia, hypercapnia, hyperventilation, hypoxemia, and hypercapnia, hypoventilation, and hypoxemia. So whenever respiratory failure is there, that time carbon dioxide level will be increased and oxygen level will be decreased. So here will be the hypercapnia and hypoventilation and hypoxemia will be there. So acute respiratory failure increase the elevated arterial carbon dioxide and hypoventilation, hypoxemia, subnormal oxygen level will be there. So fourth option is correct here. Now next question, a nurse is completing the admission of physical assessment of the client who has a history of mitral wall insufficiency. Which of the following is an expected finding? So mitral wall insufficiency is there. So what is the main expected finding will be there? Hoarseness, petechiae, crackles in the lungs basis, splenomegaly. So here correct answer will be the crackles in the lungs basis. Crackles in the lungs basis is expected finding in the client who has a pulmonary congestion. So whenever pulmonary congestion is there, so there will be a crackle sound will be there due to mitral wall insufficiency. Now next question is, client who receives immunosuppressive drug for systematic lupus erythematosus develops a fever. The nurse should administer prescribe antipyretic, place the client in isolation, apply cooling measures immediately, help identify the causes. So here why it is occurring the SLE? So first we need to identify the cause. So here correct answer is the help the identify the cause. So immunosuppressive drugs impair the client's immunocompetency and predispose him to infection. Fever is a manifestation of infection. Therefore, it's most important to discover the causes of fever as soon as possible. Why fever is occurring? That is the main important thing. Okay. Next question is, the nurse is assessing the client and suspect that client is experiencing DIC. Which of the following physical findings should the nurse anticipate? Bradycardia, hypertension, epistaxis, and xerostomia. So whenever DIC is there, so there will be a bleeding. So epistaxis is the, we can see findings will be there. Epistaxis is the unexpected finding. Bleeding gums and nose and is finding indicative of DIC. Okay. Now next question is, after seeing this stoma as a figure, what is your appropriate action? So this you can see. So this is the stoma. So options are inform surgeon, note down the normal finding, note down abnormal finding, both 1 and 3. So this stoma is normal. Okay, normal color of stoma will be the red, brick red or pink. So this is the like brick red. So it is the correct answer. Note down the normal finding. Now next question, a client with a myocardial infarction and cardiogenic shock is placed on the intra-aortic balloon pump. If the device is functioning properly, the balloon is inflates when? Okay, so patient is on the IABPV. So what we need to do, tricuspid valve is closed, pulmonic valve is opened, aortic valve is closed, and mitral valve is closed. So if the device is functioning properly, so balloon inflates when? So when it will be inflating? When aortic valve is closed. Okay, so an IAV inflate during the diastole. So when the tricuspid and mitral valves are open and the aortic pulmonic valves are closed, then only it will be work. Okay, so here aortic and pulmonic valve will be closed. That time it will be function properly. Now next question is, the client requires the insertion of nasogastric tube when preparing the client for the procedure. The nurse should place the client in which of the following positions. So we are going to insert the nasogastric tube. So what is the main position? High phallus position with the head tilt forward, high phallus position with the head tilt backward, semi phallus position with the head in the neutral position, semi phallus position with the head tilt backward. So whenever we are going to put the nasogastric tube, so it should be high phallus position and head should be tilt the forward direction. Okay, so this is the correct answer. So for insertion of a nasogastric tube, client should be placed on the high phallus position with the head tilt forward, because this position helps to close the trachea and open the esophagus, facilitate the correct insertion. So for this we need to do this position. Next question is, a nurse in a clinic review the laboratory reports of the client who has a suspected cholelithiasis. Which of the following is an expected findings? Serum albumin is 4.1 gram per deciliter. WBC is 9,511 microliter, direct bilirubin 2.1, and serum cholesterol 171 mg per dl. So here correct answer will be the direct bilirubin 2.1 mg per dl. So when thus finding outside the expected reference range and increase the client who has a cholelithiasis. So whenever cholelithiasis is there, so bilirubin findings we need to check. Okay, when drawing up of doses of subcutaneous heparin, we are going to drawing the subcutaneous heparin. How much air should be drawn into a syringe after the correct dosage of the obtained? Okay, so after that, how much doses or how much air should be drawn? So it should be drawn 1 ml, 0.6 to 0.2 to 0.3 ml, 0.01 ml. So we need to draw the 0.2 to 0.3 ml air. Okay, the client returns from an endoscopic procedure during which he was sedated. Before offering the client food, it is most important nurse should. Okay, so what we will do after the endoscopic procedure, monitor his oxygen saturation level, assess his gag reflex, place him in the sideline position, have him drink sips of water. So before offering the food, first we need to assess the gag reflex of patient. Okay, because patient is the sedated before the procedure, so it can impair the gag reflex. So first we need to assess the gag reflex. Now next question is, a client is clinically active pulmonary tuberculosis is organized isoniazid, rifampicin, pyrazinamide, ethambutol. Which finding best indicative effectiveness of drug therapy? So how we can find the drug therapy is effective? Cause cavities are no longer evidence on chest X-ray. Tuberculin test is negative. The client is afebrile and no longer coughing. The sputum culture converts the negative. So whenever tuberculosis patient is there and therapy is going on, so for that effectiveness, how we will check? We will see the sputum culture. If it is coming negative, so it is the effective. Okay, a change in sputum culture from the positive to negative, best indication of the effectiveness of the anti-tubercular medications. Now next question is, a nurse is caring for a client who is receiving TPN solution. It has been 24 hours since the current bag solution was hung and 400 ml remains in the infuse. Which of the following is the appropriate actions for the nurse take? Okay, so it was started TPN solution and 400 ml remains and 24 hours has finished. So what he has to do? So remove the current bag and hang a new bag, infuse the remaining solution in the current 24-hour current rate and then hang a new bag, increase the infuse rate so remaining solution is administered within an hour and hang a new bag, remove the current bag and hang a bag of lactate ringer solution. So whenever TPN we are giving, so we need to give within the 24 hours. If it is going beyond the 24 hours and solution is remaining, we need to remove that the current bag. Okay, we need to discard it and we need to hang the new bag. So here correct answer is first. So rationale is the correct bag of TPN should not hang more than 24 hours due to risk for infection. Okay. During the insertion of rigid scope of bronchoscopy, a client experiences a vasovagal response. So the nurse should expect. Okay. So if the client's pupils to become dilate, the client experiences bronchodilation, a decrease in gastric secretions, a drop in the client's heart rate. So whenever vasovagal responses will be there, it will cause the bradycardia. So during bronchoscopy, vasovagal response may be cause the stimulating the pharynx, which is tend to the may cause the stimulation of the vagus nerve. The client may experience a sudden drop of the heart rate leading to syncope. So here we need to assess the client's heart rate. The table shown in image. So this table is shown in image is that is cardiac table. So here correct answer will be the cardiac table. Options are cardiac table, charting table, doctor's documenting table, paracentesis table. So this is the cardiac table. A client experienced acute myocardial ischemia. The nurse administers oxygen, sublingual nitroglycerin when assessing the ECG. For evidence that blood flow of the myocardium has improved, the nurse should focus on the ward. Okay. So widening of the QRS complex, frequency of the ectopic beats, returns to the ST segment on baseline, and presence of significant Q wave. So for ECG, what we need to see the if acute myocardial ischemia is there, so ST segment coming to the baseline or not. So here correct answer is the return of the ST segment on the baseline. So during episodes of myocardial ischemia, ECG may show the ST segment elevation or depression. Okay. So myocardial ischemia is there, so there can be a ST elevation and ST depression. So with the successful treatment, ST segment will be returned to the normal baseline. So here correct answer will be the ST segment to the baseline. The next question is, a nurse is caring for a client who is scheduled for the thoracentesis. Prior to the procedure, which of the following action should the nurse take? So before the thoracentesis, what he need to do? Position the client in the upright position, leaning over the bedside table. Explain the procedure to the client. Obtain ABG. Administer Benzocaine. So first he need to keep the patient in the upright position and leaning over the bedside table. So this is the correct answer. A nurse is carrying a client who has a chest tube and drainage system in the place. The nurse observed the client chest tube was accidentally removed. Which of the following action should the nurse take first? If that chest tube has accidentally removed, what he needs to do? Place the tubing in the sterile bottle to restore the water seal. Apply sterile gauze on the insertion site. Place the tape around the insertion site. Assess the client's respiratory status. When it is accidentally removed, first he need to apply the sterile gauze at the insertion site. So this is the correct answer here. Using ABC is the priority setting framework. The application sterile gauze to the site should first action for the nurse to take. This allows the air to escape to reduce the risk for development of sensor pneumothorax. Okay, so that's why we need to apply the sterile gauze on the insertion site. That is our first action. Now next question is, the image is eliciting. So this image you can see. So what it is eliciting? What is this condition? Snake rash, skin rashes, psoriasis, burns, and anaphylactic reaction. So this image is showing psoriasis. Okay, so here correct answer is psoriasis. A nurse on a cardiac unit is carrying a client who is on telemetry. The nurse recognizes the client heart rate is 46 beats per minute and notifies the provider. The nurse should anticipate which of the following management strategy will be used for this client. Okay, so heart rate is 46 beats per minute. So what we need to do? Defibrillation, pacemaker insertion, synchronized cardioversion, administer IV lidocaine. So here what we will do? A nurse on a cardiac unit carrying a client who is on telemetry. The nurse recognizes the heart rate is this much and notify the provider. So here correct answer will be the pacemaker insertion. So why? A client who has a bradycardia is a candidate for pacemaker insertion for increasing the heart rate, because he is always having the what? Bradycardia. Regular bradycardia is there, so for that we need to do the pacemaker insertion. A client undergoes the hypersensitivity testing with the intradermal technique. The nurse should administer the allergens. At what angle should the needle will be inserted? So for hypersensitivity test, what we are giving for intradermal technique we use. So for intradermal technique we use the 15-degree angles. Okay. The machine shows in the image. So this machine is what you can see. This is the ECG, EEG, PFT machine and NST. So this is the ECG machine, you can see. Next question is, what formula is used for doing CPR? So when we are going to do CPR, so what we will do? ABC, CAB, CBA or BCA. So when we are going to assess the patient condition, that time we will use the ABC, or when we are doing the CPR, that time we have to do the CAB. Here C means compression. Okay, compression, airway and breathing. This is airway, breathing and circulation. So for assessing, ABC we need to use, and for doing CPR, CAB we need to use. A nurse administering a warfarin to a client deep vein thrombophlebitis. Which laboratory would indicate the client has a therapeutic level of warfarin? So prothrombin time 1.5 to 2 times to the control. PT is 11/2 2 times to control, and INR 3 to 4, and hematocrit is 32%. So for warfarin we need to use the PT, that is what, 1.5 to 2 times to control, that is 1.5. Okay, so here correct answer will be the second. Daily abnormal gulf measurement are prescribed for a client with a liver dysfunction and ascites. To increase the accuracy, the nurse should use which landmark? Xiphoid process, umbilicus, iliac crest and symphysis pubis. So here correct answer will be the umbilicus, because we are going to check the abdominal girth, so it should be correct landmark should be the umbilicus. So we need to check at the umbilicus side. The proper technique for abdominal girth measurement involving circumventing the abdomen with a tape measuring using the umbilicus as a landmarks. A nurse is taking a history from the mother of a child suspected of having Ray's syndrome. This history will use of several medication. Which medication might be implicated development of Ray's syndrome? So phenytoin, furosemide, phytonadione and aspirin. So here correct answer will be the aspirin. Aspirin use has been implicated in the development of Ray's syndrome in the children with a history of recent acute viral fever. So here aspirin is the correct answer. A nurse is completing discharge teaching to a client who has a Crohn's disease. Which of the following should be included in the teaching? Decrease intake of calorie dense food, drink canned protein supplements, take calcium supplement daily, and take a bulk forming laxative. So here correct answer will be the for Crohn's disease, drink canned protein supplements. Okay, so high protein diet is recommended for a client who has a Crohn's disease, and canned protein supplements are encouraged. Okay, so here correct answer will be the drink canned protein supplements. The nurse is monitoring the cardiac rhythm when abnormal rhythm occurs. Which of the following cardiac rhythm does the ECG strip C image indicates? So this image you can see. So what is this rhythm? So this is the atrial fibrillation. So this rhythm is shown the atrial fibrillation. So ventricular fibrillation, ventricular tachycardia, atrial fibrillation and atrial flutter. So this is the correct answer is the atrial fibrillation. Now next question is, a nurse is documenting her care of a client of iron deficiency anemia. Which nursing diagnosis is most appropriate? So iron deficiency anemia is there. So options are impaired gas exchange, deficient fluid volume, ineffective airway clearance and ineffective breathing pattern. So here correct answer will be the impaired gas exchange. So first option is correct. So why? Hemoglobin is responsible for oxygen transport in the body. Iron is necessary for the hemoglobin synthesis. So iron deficiency anemia cause subnormal hemoglobin levels, which impair the tissue oxygenation and impaired gas exchange. So here correct answer is impaired gas exchange will be the priority nursing diagnosis. The nurse is caring for a client who has a chronic gastritis is scheduled for selective vagotomy. The purpose of this procedure is increase duodenal gastric emptying, reduce the gastric secretions, increase the gastric mucosa secretions, reduce the histamine secretions. A selective vagotomy reduce the gastric secretion. So here correct answer will be the reduce the gastric acid secretion. So we do for the vagotomy for to reduce the gastric acid secretions. Okay, so this answer is correct. Next question is, a client with acute respiratory distress syndrome is intubated at the placed on mechanical ventilation. His partial pressure on the atrial oxygenation is 60 mmHg of 100% fractional inspired O2. The increase his PA2 without raising the FiO2. The client will most likely placed on the time cycle ventilation, volume cycle ventilation, pressure support and positive and expiratory pressure. So here correct answer will be the P, positive and expiratory pressure. Okay, so PEEP is the widely used during the mechanical ventilation of the clients with ARDS and improve the gaseous action over the alveolar capillary membranes. Time or volume cycle ventilation is less effective with the ARDS than pressure cycle ventilation. Okay, so pressure support is dependent on the client's inspiratory efforts, not as effective as the PEEP is the treatment of ARDS. So whenever ARDS is there, we need to keep the patient on the PEEP pressure. Okay, so here correct answer will be the PEEP. A client is diagnosed with the acute diverticulitis. He is ordered gentamicin IV. When administering the gentamicin, the nurse should expect wait IV push over 1 minute, IV push over 2 minutes, IV piggyback over 15 to 20 minutes, IV piggyback over 30 to 60 minutes. So here we need to give the gentamicin at least for 30 to 60 minutes for with the IV piggyback. Okay. Next question is, a nurse is administering a client who has a suspected myocardial infarction. History of angina. Which of the following finding will help the nurse distinguish the angina from the MI? So history of angina is there. So we need to identify the difference with MI or angina. So what can be there? Can relieved with the rest and nitroglycerin. The pain of MI resolved in the less than 15 minutes. The type of activity causes the MI can be identified. Angina can occur for longer than 30 minutes. So here correct answer will be the angina can relieved with the rest and nitroglycerin, whereas MI will not be relieved. So angina can be relieved by the rest and nitroglycerin. So first option is correct. Now coming to next question. A client is experiencing abdominal pain and exhibits blood in his stool and emesis. He is scheduled for undergo several diagnostic tests. The nurse may allow the client to eat normally if he is scheduled for an endoscopy, a fecal occult blood test, an endoscopy, retrograde cholangiopancreatography, a barium swallow. So here correct answer will be the fecal occult blood test. The client may eat normally when fecal occult blood test is scheduled. However, an endoscopic test and upper GI series or barium swallow, the client should have nothing by mouth before the test. Okay, so if patient is going for fecal occult blood test, he can eat. But for barium swallow and endoscopy, he cannot eat before the procedure. Now next question is the stage of pressure ulcer shown in images. So this pressure ulcer images, you can see stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 and stage 4. So this image is showing the stage 3. Okay, stage 3 is the correct answer. A nurse is providing discharge teaching for a client who has a prescription of furosemide Lasix 40 mg per oral daily. What times of the should the nurse encourage the client to take this medication? So morning, immediate after lunch, immediate before dinner and bedtime. So we need to give the always Lasix at the morning. So diuretic should be administered in the morning. The client should take the furosemide, a diuretic in the morning to take so that the peak action and the duration medication occurs during the working hours. Okay, if we will give the in the bedtime or night time, so patient will having the micturition in the night time. So for that we need to give this medication in the morning itself. The procedure shown in image is related with. So this procedure has been shown. Okay, so this procedure has been shown. This is the fundoplication. Okay, fundus and esophagus will be done in this picture. So with for which condition it is related? So options are peptic ulcer disease, esophageal varices, GERD and hiatal hernia. So here correct answer is the GERD. So GERD, in GERD we will do the fundoplication. Okay. When applying leads for 12 leads, the nurse places the V1 and V5 at the fourth intercostal space to the right and left of the sternum. Which of the following leads placed at the fifth intercostal space on the left mid-clavicular line? So at fifth intercostal space, which lead we will place? So L lead V3, 4, V5 and V6. So here correct answer is V4. So here we can see the rationale. V3 will be placed in V3 midway between the V2 and V4. So V3 will be placed between the V2 and V4. V4 will be the left mid-clavicular line at the fifth intercostal, and V5 is the horizontal to the V4 at the left anterior axillary line, and V6 is the horizontal to the V5 at the left mid axillary line. So here correct answer will be the L lead V4. It should be left mid clavicular at the fifth intercostal space. The nurse is assessing a client with asthma. Which of the following is a risk factor associated with this disease? So what is the main risk factor associated with this disease? Gender, environmental allergies, alcohol use and race. So for asthma, mainly environmental allergies is associated with this disease. So environmental allergy is risk factor for associated with the asthma. Client with environmental allergies typically has other allergies problems such as rhinitis and or skin rashes. So here correct answer will be the environmental allergies. A nurse is caring for a client who had a paracentesis. Which of the following findings indicate that bowel was perforated during the procedure? Client reports to the upper chest pain, decreased urine output, pallor, temperature elevation. So here bowel perforation will be there. So what will be there? So first temperature will be elevated. So here correct answer will be the fever as an indication of the bowel perforation during paracentesis. So here correct answer will be the temperature elevation. The nurse is assessing the client with a radiation implant and observed that the implant has been dislodged. The nurse cannot immediately locate the implant. The first nursing action is to search the implant in the bed, cover the plate in the lint container, call the physician and bar all visitors from the room, pick up the source of the foot long applicator with a long applicator and notify the radiation safety team. So first here correct answer will be the call the physician and bar all visitors from the room. Why? Explain. The first nursing action is the bar all visitors from the rooms and notify the physician. It is important to contaminate your and searching by the implant physician with the notify radiation team make decision about the reimplant radiation source in the client. Okay, so first we need to, because we cannot identify that where it is there. Okay, the nurse cannot immediately locate the implant. Okay, so for that he and she need to inform the physician, okay, and other visitors also. So here correct answer will be the call the physician and bar all visitors from the room. Now next question is, the nurse is completing assessment the client who has a GERD. Which of the following is an expected finding? So absence of saliva, loss of tooth enamels, client reports sweet taste in mouth, and client reports absence of erection. Okay, erection. So here correct answer will be the loss of tooth enamel, because tooth erosion is expected finding in the client with the who has GERD. Okay, because gastric acid will be the coming in the mouth, so it will loss of the tooth enamel will be the main expected finding. The nurse is carrying a client who has a cancer pain. Which of the following is the most reliable indicator of the client's pain? Change in the pulse oximeter, facial expression of the pain, verbal report of the pain, and massaging on area. So here correct answer will be the for pain, verbal report of the pain. So client's verbal report of the pain is the most reliable indicator of the pain. Next question is the skin lesion evident is the herpes zoster similar to those seen in the impetigo, syphilis, varicella and rubella. So herpes zoster skin lesion is similar to the varicella zoster, or that is chicken pox. A nurse is carrying a client who has a heart failure, reports increased shortness of breath. The nurse increase the oxygen per protocol. Which of the following action should the nurse take first? Obtain the client's weight, assess the client in hypopholos position, auscultate the lung sound, check the oxygen saturation with pulse oximetry. So heart failure is there and he is having the shortness of breath. So what we need to do? First we need to keep the client in the hypopholos position. A client comes to emergency department with a dissecting aortic aneurysm. A client is a greater risk for septic shock, anaphylactic, cardiogenic and hypovolemic shock. So here correct answer will be the hypovolemic shock. A dissecting aortic aneurysm is the precursor to aortic rupture, which leads to the hemorrhage and which will lead to the hypovolemic shock. So here correct answer will be the hypovolemic shock. The next question is a client has a chest tube in place with a 3-chambered chest drainage system. The nurse notes continuous bubbling in the water-filled chamber. This indicates which of the following: pneumothorax, suction inadequate, system leak, air leak. The tube is positioned incorrectly. So when continuous bubbling is there, so it is the system air leak. So continuous bubbling in the water-filled chamber indicates the system air leaking. So here correct answer system air leak. Which type of laxatives agent is usually the safest for most people? Bulk laxative, stool softener, stimulants and osmotic or saline. So here correct answer will be the bulk laxatives. So bulk laxatives such as metamicil and cetirizine are usually safest for most of the people because their action most closely mimics the human physiology. So here bulk laxatives are safest for the people. Okay, next question is a client with a right lower pneumonia is ordered to a chest percussion and postural drainage. When performing percussion postural drainage, the nurse should position the client. Okay, so that percussion we are doing for the right lower lobe pneumonia. So for whenever lower lobe is there, we need to keep the client in the right prone and supine with the foot of bed elevated higher than the feet. Okay, it should be like this condition, this position. It should not be like this. Okay, it should not be hypopholos position. It should be a like tendril position we do that one. So prone or supine. So this we can keep the patient in the prone or supine position with the foot of bed elevated. So we need to elevate the foot of bed. So this foot of bed should be elevated. So here correct answer will be the prone or supine with the foot of bed elevated higher than the head. Okay. Next question is a nurse is teaching a method about the benefits of breastfeeding her infant. Which type of immunity is passed on to the infant during breastfeeding? Natural immunity, natural acquired immunity, natural acquired passive immunity, artificial acquired active immunity. So by mother from the milk, what immunity we get? Natural acquired passive immunity. Okay. Next question is the X-ray is eliciting. So this is the X-ray. So this X-ray is eliciting. So options are pericardial effusion, pleural effusion, normal X-ray, pus formation in the lung. So this X-ray is showing the pericardial effusion. So here correct answer is the pericardial effusion. Now next question is the nurse is preparing a client with a SLE for discharge. Which instructions should the nurse include in the teaching plan? Exposure to sunlight will help the control of the skin rashes. There are no activity limitations between flare-ups. Monitor the body temperature and corticosteroids may be stopped. So here correct answer will be the monitor of the temperature, body temperature. So client should monitor his temperature because fever can signals the exacerbation or should be reported to the physician. Sunlight and other sources of ultraviolet light may be precipitate the severe skin reaction, exacerbates the disease. So here correct answer will be the monitor the body temperature. So this he need to monitor. Now next question is, which of the following is an indicator of the AIDS? CDC CD4 count less than 200 cells per cube millimeter, or CD4 count is 400, CD4 count is 600, and CD4 count is 1000. So here correct answer is the 1. CD4 count less than 200 cells per cubic millimeter. Okay. Now next question is, a nurse is caring for a client and reviewing a new prescription for afterload reducing medication. The nurse should recognize that the medication is administered for which of the following types of shock. So options are cardiogenic, obstetric, hypovolemic, and disruptive. So for reducing medication and for afterload, so we need to see for the cardiogenic shock. Reducing afterload will allow the heart pump more effectively, which is needed to client who has a cardiogenic shock. Okay, so the nurse should recognize that medication is administered for which of the following types of cardiogenic shock. So when cardiogenic shock is there, so we need to give this medication. Okay, for prescription for afterload. So for increasing the afterload, we are providing this medication. Why it is? Because cardiogenic shock is occurring. A client with major abdominal trauma needs an emergency blood transfusion. A client's blood type is AB negative. Of the blood types available, the safest type of nurse administer. So client's type is AB negative. So what type of blood we can give? AB positive, A positive, AB negative, or O positive. So AB negative patient is there. So there is the we can give by the B negative blood. So B negative blood only we here sufficient to the give the AB positive AB negative patient. A client with a peptic ulcer disease secondary to the chronic non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs used in prescribed of misoprostol, the nurse would be most accurate in the informing the client that drug reduce the gas formation, increase the speeds of the gastric emptying, to protect the stomach lining, and increase the lower esophageal sphincter. So NSAIDs induce the peptic ulcer. So for that we are giving the here misoprostol. So misoprostol, what it will do? It will protect the stomach's lining. So misoprostol is a synthetic prostaglandin that, like prostaglandin, protect the gastric mucosa. So NSAID decrease the prostaglandin production and predispose the client in the peptic ulceration. So cytotec or misoprostol is the prescribed to the client with a peptic ulcer disease who are also taking the NSAIDs. So here correct answer will be the protect the stomach lining. Now next question is, a nurse is planning care for a client who has patient count less than 25,000 per cubic millimeter. Which of the following intervention should be included in the plan of care? So applying prolonged pressure to the puncture site after crampling, administer apotin alpha as prescribed, place the client in the private room, and help the client use of oral topical anesthetic before meals. So here correct answer will be the apply prolonged pressure to the puncture site after blood sampling. Okay, so here because bleeding can be there, bleeding precaution should be implemented for the client with the thrombocytopenia. Next question is, during an emergency the patient has not been breathing enough maintain body function. Which of the ABG would be expected patient in such as time? Okay, so PS 7.5, CO2 30, SCO3 18, PS 7.45, CO2 35, SCO3 22, PS 7.28, CO2 28, SCO3 10, and pH is 7.3, CO2 50, and SCO3 22. So in this condition correct answer will be the PS 7.28, carbon dioxide 28, and bicarbonate will be the 10. When patient is do not breathe, that means hypoventilation will be there, adequate do not breathe adequate to maintain the body friction, anaerobic respiration begins to take over, creates energy needs. This byproducts of anaerobic respiration creates the buildup of the lactic acid in the blood. so which will lead to the lactic acidosis. So that is the type of metabolic acidosis. This is the metabolic acidosis type. Okay. A client with a history of the hiatal hernia reports to the nurse that has trouble sleeping because the abdominal girth, abdominal pain. It would be the most beneficial to the client if the nurse instructed him to sleep. So with his upper body elevated in prone position, flat or in side lying position, with his lower body slightly elevated. So here correct answer will be the with his upper body elevated. Okay. So whenever abdominal pain is there, so upper body should be elevated. A nurse is admitting a client suspected occlusion of the graft of the abdominal aorta. Which of the following expected finding? So increased urine output, bounding pedal pulse, increased abdominal girth, and narrowness of the lower extremities. So occlusion will be there in the graft, so there will be the increased abdominal girth. So abdominal distension is an expected finding of with the occlusion of the graft of aorta, and decreased urine output is expected finding with the occlusion of graft of the aorta. So decreased urine output will be there and increased abdominal girth will be there. A nurse is completing discharge teaching with a client who is 3 days postoperative for transverse colostomy. Which of the following should be included in the teaching? Mucus will be present in the stool for 5 to 7 days after surgery. Expect 5000 to 1000 of semi-liquid stools after 2 weeks. Stoma should be moist and pink, and change the ostomy bag when it is 3/4. So here correct answer will be the stoma should be pink or moist. So pink and moist stoma expected finding with the transverse colostomy, and ostomy bag should be changed in the when it is filled with the 1/4 to 1/2. So 1/4 to half it is filled, so then only it will be changed. Next question is, a nurse on a medical surgical unit admitting a client who has a hepatitis B with ascites. Which of the following actions should the nurse include in the care plan? Immediate contact precaution, weights client weekly, measure the abdominal girth 7.5 centimeter above the umbilicus, and provide high calorie high carbohydrate diet. So here correct answer will be the provide high calorie and high carbohydrate diet. So high calorie high carbohydrate diet is recommended for the clients who have a hepatitis B. A nurse is evaluating the effectiveness of the digestive injection in a client with a diverticulitis. Regular consumption of which food would indicate that client has understood the instruction: fiber, banana, cucumbers, milk products. So here correct answer will be the cucumber. So when diverticulitis is there, patient should not eat the cucumber. Okay. The nurse is caring for a client following angioplasty that was inserted through the femoral artery. While turning the client, the nurse discovered blood underneath the client's lower back. The nurse should retroperitoneal bleeding. The nurse should suspect retroperitoneal bleeding, cardiac tamponade, bleeding from the incisional side, and heart failure. So here correct answer will be the bleeding from the incisional side. Okay, bleeding is occurring from the incision side that drain under the client. The nurse should assess the incision for hematoma, apply pressure, and monitor the client and notify the healthcare provider. The nurse is teaching a client who has a new diagnosis of pernicious anemia due to chronic gastritis. Which of the following should be included in the teaching? So pernicious anemia is there. So what is the main included teaching is cells producing gastric acid have been damaged. A monthly injection of medication is required. Vitamin K supplementation will be administered, and increased production of intrinsic factor is occurring. So here correct answer will be the a monthly injection of medication will be required. So monthly injection of the vitamin B12 is necessary to treat the pernicious anemia. What is the best method to prevent hypovolemic shock in a client admitted with the severe ones? So administer dopamine, apply medical anti-shock trousers, infusing IV fluids, infuse fresh frozen plasma. So here correct answer will be the to treat the hypovolemic shock is infusing IV fluids. The nurse is caring for an unvaccinated child who developed complicated related to German measles. Which of the complications related to German measles? Which of the following infection control protocols is appropriate? So German measles complication is relate. So which of the following protocols we need to apply? Standards, standard and contact, standard and droplet, and standard and airborne. So here correct answer will be the standard and droplet. So clients with rubella and German measles must be maintained to the droplet precautions. Okay, and standard precaution apply to clients regardless of other precautions. A nurse is caring for a client who is 24 hours post-operative liver lobectomy for hepatocellular carcinoma. Which of the following laboratory reports should be the nurse monitor? So liver lobectomy has been done. So what we need to assess? Urine specific gravity, blood glucose, serum amylase, and D dimer. So here correct answer will be the blood glucose. Why? Blood glucose should be monitored for the within first 24 to 48 hours following the liver lobectomy, because due to decrease the gluconeogenesis and stress to the liver from surgery. A nurse on a cardiac unit is reviewing the laboratory finding of a client who has a diagnosis of myocardial infection, reports that the dyspnea begins 2 weeks ago. Which of the following cardiac enzymes would confirm the infection occurred 14 days ago? CKMB, troponin 1, troponin T, and myoglobin. So here correct answer will be the troponin T. So troponin T level will be still evident for the 14 to 21 days of the following NMI. A client is prescribed diltiazem cardizem to manage with his hypertension. The nurse should tell the client that diltiazem will lower his blood pressure only, lower his heart rate and blood pressure, lower his blood pressure, increase urine output, lower his heart rate and blood pressure, and increase his urine output. Here correct answer will be the lower his heart rate and blood pressure. The ECG shown in image. So this ECG is shown is, this is the ventricular fibrillation. A client has an immune thrombocytopenic purpura. The client's platelet is 19,000. Which initial treatment does the nurse expect? Splenectomy, immunosuppressive therapy, observation only, and platelet administration. So first we need to do the platelet administration. Okay. A client is received 10 mg of the morphine sulfate subcutaneously. When does the nurse anticipate the maximal period of respiratory depression will occur? So 10 mg morphine sulfate we have administered subcutaneously. So when respiratory depression will be occur? So here correct answer will be the 90 minutes. So the period of the maximal respiratory depression after subcutaneous injections, if we are giving the subcutaneous morphine, so it will take the 90 minutes, while it 30 minutes for intramuscular. If we are giving the intramuscular, it will take the 30 minutes, and 7 minutes intravenously. So IV it will take the 7 minutes, intramuscularly we are giving the 30 minutes, and subcutaneously so it will take the 90 minutes for respiratory depression. So your correct answer will be the 90 minutes. A nurse is completing an integumentary assessment of a client who has anemia. Which of the following is expected finding? Absent turgor, spoon shaped nails, shiny hairless legs, yellow mucous membranes. So here correct answer will be the spoon shaped neck. Why? Because patient is having anemia. That means deformities of nails such as being spoon shaped, and finding is the client who has a anemia. Okay, because anemia is there, so hemoglobin level decrease, so oxygen level decrease, so it will lead to the spoon shaped nails. Kaposi sarcoma is associated with the HIV. The nurse is presenting a community education program on recommended lifestyle change to prevent the angina and myocardial infarction. Which of the following changes should the nurse recommend be made first? Okay, diet modification, relaxation exercise, smoking cessation, and taking omega-3 capsule. So here correct answer is smoking cessation. According to airway breathing and circulation priority setting frameworks, adequate oxygen is priority. So nicotine causes the vasoconstriction and elevates the blood pressure and narrows the coronary arteries. So therefore smoking cessation should be first recommended lifestyle changes. So here correct answer will be the smoking cessation. The chest shown in the images. So here the chest is shown in the images. So this chest you can see. So this type of chest you can see in which condition? So this is the this type of change is chest is barrel shape chest. Okay, so shape of chest is barrel chest. Okay, the next question is, a nurse is caring for a client who has a dyspnea, is to receiving oxygen continuously. Which of the following oxygen device should the nurse use to deliver the a precise amount of oxygen to the client? So non-rebreather mask, venturing mask, nasal cannula, simple mask. So precise amount means a limited or settled amount we need to administer the oxygen. So venturi mask is the main effective device. So for with the venturi mask we need to give the oxygen. So venturi mask is the incorporates and adapted to allow the precise amount of oxygen to be delivered to the client. What type of condition shown in image? So this is the image. So you can see here, air is enters, so it cannot go out on expiration. So what is showing? It is showing tension pneumothorax, open pneumothorax, tension pneumothorax, open pneumothorax. So it is showing the tension pneumothorax. So tension pneumothorax means air enters but it cannot leave the chest as the pressure increase in the heart and greater vessels are compressed. Okay, as the pressure increases the heart and greater vessels are compressed. So in this what will be happen? Air cannot go out. Next question is, a nurse is reviewing the health records of the client who is being admitted with suspected tumor of the jejunum. The nurse should anticipate the prescription of the which of the following tests? Okay, the tumor in the jejunum. So serum alpha protein, ERCP, endoscopic retrograde cholangiopancreatography, that is ERCP, gastrointestinal X-ray with contrast, and urine bilirubin. So here diagnostic test will be done the gastric X-ray with the contrast. So gastric X-ray with the contrast involved with the drinking of barium, which is then traced the small through the small intestine and the junction of the colon. This would identify the tumor in the jejunum. So here correct answer will be the gastrointestinal X-ray with contrast. Next question is, the nurse is seeking to meet the nutritional need of the client with acute peritonitis. The nurse should administer nasal enteral feeding, gastric enteral feeding, oral feeding, and parenteral feeding. So when patient is having the peritonitis, acute peritonitis, we will provide the parenteral feedings only. Okay. Next question is, the client has a chronic bronchitis. A client has a chronic bronchitis. The nurse is teaching him breathing exercise. Which instruction the nurse should include in the teaching? Make inhalation longer than the exhalation. Exhale through an open mouth. Use diaphragmatic breathing. Use chest breathing. So here correct answer is the use diaphragmatic breathing when patient is having chronic bronchitis. Now next question is, the nurse is preparing and administer to iron dextran iron to client with iron deficiency anemia. Which action is appropriate? Using 25 gauge needle, administer Jetrek technique, using the same needle to draw up the solution to administer the injection, preparing the deltoid site for injection. So when we are giving the administer the iron, so iron injection we need to give the with the Jetrek technique, Jetrek or zigzag technique. The nurse is admitting a client who has suspected rheumatic endocarditis. The nurse should anticipate prescription from the provider for which of the following laboratory tests to assess the confirmation of this diagnosis? ABG, serum albumin, liver enzyme, and throat culture. So for rheumatic endocarditis, first we need to see the throat culture. Why throat culture? Throat culture reveals the presence of the streptococcus, which is leading cause of the rheumatic endocarditis. Next question is, a nurse is providing teaching for a client who has a new diagnosis of dumping syndrome following gastric surgery. Which of the following should be included in the teaching? Eat three moderate sized meals in a day. Drink at least 1 glass of water which is meal. Eat a bedtime snacks for contains milk product. Increase protein in the diet. So here correct answer will be the increase protein in the diet. Okay. A client undergoes a circular skin punch biopsy to confirm diagnosis of the skin cancer. Immediately following the procedure, the nurse should cover the site for. So whenever we are doing punch biopsy, so where it will be the main thing, that will be the hemorrhage. So here correct answer will be the hemorrhage. So other infection, disease and swelling is the wrong. So this is our 100 question finished. So in this video we have seen the 100 questions. So this is the MSN paper 1, 100 question we have seen. Another paper MSN 2 we will see, in that also 100 questions are there. So please subscribe my channel if you are new on my channel, or if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe it, like this video and share to others. So these are the very important, most selective, highly selected questions, and 90%, more than 90% chance is there to come in the Delhi AIIMS exam. So please subscribe please subscribe my channel, like this video, share it. Okay, thank you all of you. We'll meet in the next video.